Alright, so this is my homemade incubator. It's a pop cooler. And you can get these usually really cheap, if not free. This one I got for free. It quit cooling, and when they quit cooling, they're really expensive to repair. A lot of times they're old anyways, so the store will give them away, or you can find people selling them pretty cheap. So down below, I gutted the refrigeration unit compressor because it's no longer good. It's just added weight, so I went ahead and ripped that out. And up here, you'll see there's actually a plug-in, so you can plug stuff in. So now, once you've ripped out your refrigeration unit down below, I use a Herpstat for my thermostats. These things are great. They're primarily used for reptile keeping, but I mean, they're super great to use, super accurate. The Herpstat one will cost you about $150. So to heat it, what I use is a Reptile Basics heat panel. This one is an 80 watt. Heats this thing up really good. I can get this incubator to well over 100 degrees, way hotter than I'd ever need. But all you do in the back, depending on how professional and clean you want it, depends on your install. I just punch a hole through the back, run my wires. The wire up here is the probe, so that way it can read how hot it is. And then your heat panel plugs into the back of your thermostat. Your thermostat reads the temperature and then changes it to what it needs to be. Now, most of the time, like I said, whenever the cooling unit and these go out, you can get them cheap, you can get them free. Most of the time, though, the fan still works, which is good. You need circulation in a big incubator like this. So check it out, make sure the fan still works. If not, no big deal. You can always mount a fan in the back of your own. But if that fan still works, that's great. Try to keep it working. So once you drill a hole, put your heat panel in, run your probe for your thermostat up, you plug in your heat panel, and then you plug your thermostat into the outlet here, and then you plug the whole unit into just whatever outlet you want in your house, and then they should have a toggle switch. Flip that toggle switch, everything turns on. So now everything's fired up. I think I forgot to mention that heat panel will run you about 80 bucks. So not too bad. Then your thermostat, you'll have to get used to playing with them. I'm pretty good with working Herpstats, so I can jump through all the settings. You can do a lot of different things with these. If you spend a little extra money and get a Herpstat 2, it'll be able to control 2 different temperature zones. Or you could even plug in a humidity sensor, so that way you can monitor humidity and temperature all on one unit. Then you could actually get a mister, plug the mister in, so that way, you know, it even regulates it on its own as far as humidity goes. So this is another incubator I built. This one I paid $50 for. It's a double door cooler, so it's a lot bigger. Same concept though. I have a heat panel in the bottom. I have a thermostat down below. Fans up top work well on this. And just drill a couple holes, plug and play. One thing that I don't quite like about this incubator though is it does seem like it doesn't hold temperature as evenly throughout it. I would definitely say if I had a choice, I would get the single door coolers and just have more of those than having this big one. It's not a bad incubator though, still works good. I think in my preference I would do the smaller cooler and have more of them. So talking about thermostats, this is a Herpstat 2, so it controls 2 different temperature zones, has 2 probes. When I say temperature zones, it has to be a separate container, so you can't have 2 different zones in one cooler. But if you got that and had 2 coolers side by side, you could control the temps with one thermostat. Now, this is a Herpstat 6, a lot bigger, controls 6 different temperature zones. So zone 1, zone 2, zone 3, zone 4, zone 5, zone 6, and then I have a Herpstat 4, which controls zone 7, zone 8, zone 9, zone 10. So if you really wanted, you could get 6 of these coolers, put them side by side, control the temperature, all on one thermostat. So this incubator I used as a hatcher for my Rhea chicks this year. Worked really well for that. And all you're wanting to do to use it as a hatcher is you need to have some kind of box in here that you can put the eggs, so that way when the chicks hatch, they don't go through the grate or fall, because there is some gaps down here. You don't want them to fall to the bottom. So you can make a custom box or use something like this, but you need it to be taller. That's about a 6-inch box, and Rhea chicks, they can jump over that pretty early. At least 12 inches tall to make sure they stay in there. But yeah, that's really all you need. Just something so they have a nice solid floor. They can't fall out and get hurt.